Okay, so I hit 1,000 subscribers the other day, and I figured I'd let you guys ask me questions about my videos or my channel or me or whatever you wanted. So here it is. I've returned to the spot where I filmed my very first video, and there's no script for this one. I just have your questions right here, and let's get right to it. What is your favorite video you've made to date? That's actually kind of a tough one. If I had to say which one was my favorite to make, it's probably the Cold War video, because I got to go to an abandoned ghost town, and I had to get special permission from the county and everything to do that. And then I went to a national forest, and I had all these different costumes and stuff, so that one was a lot of fun to make. But the one that I was most excited to make, I guess, was my Mount Rushmore video, and then the videos that came afterwards, like the failed republics, the wannabe states, and the slavery scar. Those were all part of kind of a series. And I really enjoyed those ones too. And what costume character portrayal is your favorite? A lot of people seem to really like Scumbag Knowing Better. I actually hate that character, but I keep doing him because you guys seem to enjoy him. And then the Cheating Better, I guess. I mean, he's supposed to be a loser, so I don't really like him. But if I had to say like who my favorite one was, it was probably the nerdy character in my Cold War video, because I got to say things like gee willikers and stuff like that. So I've never done him again, so maybe I should. Do you own any shirts without buttons or collars? Do you ever take your shirt off in your videos? No. What one word would you use to describe yourself? Reserved. What is your favorite book of all time? If I had to say my favorite fiction book, it's probably Paper Towns. The book was really good. The movie, not so much. Non-fiction, it would be The Most Human, about chatbots trying to pass the Turing test. And then my favorite educational book is The Happiness Hypothesis. It's a pretty good book about the flaws and biases of how we think and how to improve them. So yeah. Why have you reduced Wheatley's screen time? He was in all of your old videos. Honestly, it's because I started doing my videos inside because winter happened. It just seemed more difficult to try and sneak him into my videos. But he's here now. Say hello to everyone. No? Okay. Yeah, I'll try to get him in more videos from now on, since I know you guys like him and I'm kind of able to go outside more. But as you can probably hear, there's a lot of difficulties with being outside with cars and mosquitoes and the crows and everything. It can be a problem sometimes. So I'll see what I can do. Tell us something fun about Wheatley. Okay, Wheatley has a tattoo, 2 dots behind his ear, one for each person that he killed while in prison. How do you like your eggs? Scrambled? In your second video on dreams, you mentioned that you worked in a lab for the past few years. If I hadn't been working in a lab for the last few years, there's no way I would have been able to say that. Later in that same video, you put a copy of Cohen's famous book, Analyzing Neural Time Series Data, under your pillow. Just cram for a test? This is when you're going to want to have a textbook under your pillow in order to learn by osmosis. That is some serious attention to detail right there. What exactly is your day job? Well, at the time, I had just graduated with my degree in psychology, and I worked in an EEG lab, an electroencephalography lab, where we were measuring frontal asymmetry. So that dreams video was maybe 2 weeks after that. What do you do for a living, or did? But right now, my day job is not quite as glamorous. I work in a textile factory, and then this is my intellectual and creative outlet at least until I find something bigger and better. What's your background as in educations and such? My first degree was in secondary social studies education. So I was a social studies teacher for a few years. I taught US history, world history, geography, psychology, economics, government and civics. And then I went back to school to get my degree in psychology, where I focused on cognitive psychology, that is how the brain perceives the world. So I did some sensation and perception stuff. That was my favorite, which is why I I keep alluding to the fact, ow, geez, that one hurt. Okay, I keep alluding to the fact that I'm gonna start doing vision and color videos, and I told myself I'll wait until I have 1,000 subscribers, and I do now, so be on the lookout for those here soon. I actually know quite a bit about that, so that'll be fun. I swear, these mosquitoes, though, are gonna be the end of me. Okay. The rest of this video is brought to you by Off. Why do you know so much? That's a fun question. I mean, I have 2 degrees. I taught for a few years, and one of the best ways to learn is to force yourself to teach. I regularly fall down Wikipedia rabbit holes. I definitely recommend doing that if you ever have the time. Just look up something you want to know about and then just keep clicking links, and eventually you'll find yourself on the page for the Mojave Spaceport, which is a thing, and you'll have learned all sorts of stuff that you never thought you wanted to know about. And just having that background of random information really kind of helps. Why did you quit teaching? I'm assuming you mean classroom teaching, of course. And the answer to that is pretty simple. I went back to school to get my 2nd degree in psychology because they don't tell you this, but your GI Bill VA benefits expire after 10 years. So I saw that I was running out of time, and I went back. Who or what inspired you to start this channel? The first educational YouTube video I remember seeing was CGP Gray's The United Kingdom Explained. And then I saw a few of his other videos, like First Past the Post voting and stuff. And that got me thinking, hey, you know, I could do this if I had the time anyway. A few years went by and I saw SciShow started, and Crash Course and Vsauce. And those were my big, like, educational inspirations to want to start the channel. And then I didn't really have the time to start it. There's an ant on the lens. Dang it. Who are your biggest inspirations as a YouTuber? So those were like my big educational inspirations. Some of the other ones, I guess, Mika Kitty, or Tessa Violet as she's called now. I mention her all the time, but a lot of the ways she films stuff and does jokes. I get some of my comedic inspiration from Exerbia and his self-deprecating style. I guess casually explained to a certain extent, although I didn't discover him until after I started my channel. So, what keeps you going on YouTube? What drives you to keep making videos every week? I mean, I know it's super cliche to say this, but it's you guys. You know, the first few months, I was like, why am I doing this? No one's really watching. But as I slowly grew my audience and I get inspirational comments from you guys, I keep going. Also, as I mentioned before, my job is a physical job. It's kind of mindless physical labor, which I enjoy. Yeah, I actually enjoy it a lot, which sounds strange. But then this is my intellectual outlet, and I know if I were to stop it, I would feel very unfulfilled. Other than me, obviously, who are your top 5 favorite YouTubers or YouTube channels? What are your favorite YouTube channels? Okay, well, other than Mr. Beat, I mean, there's the usual suspects. So other than like the people I mentioned as my inspirations, well, I mean, Exerbia, first of all, I enjoy his content a lot. Wendover Productions, I like his stuff too. He does like transportation and air travel videos a lot, which is it's a pretty niche topic that I didn't think I would ever really get into, but his stuff is really entertaining and interesting. So him. And then Internet Comment Etiquette. He's more of a comedy channel, but if you really like look into his content, there's like a background intellectual level to it, like social commentary. I mean, he's certainly no George Carlin, but you know, he's funny, but he makes comments about how we are as a society at the same time. And I think it's smart. I don't know if he intends for it to be smart, but it's smart and entertaining. Some of the more recent people I've discovered who I really enjoy, They're part of the We Create EDU community, which I'm a part of now. Is Jade from Up and Atom. She does physics videos that are pretty entertaining. And then I recently discovered Soph's Notes the other day, and I binge watched her channel. She needs to have more content, by the way, but she does human anatomy and neuroscience videos. What are your thoughts on the Paris Accord? It was a good idea. It is a good idea. Trump pulling out of it was just a political stunt. I don't see the point in pulling out. I think we should have stayed. Favorite video games? Well, that changes a lot. I guess my top 3 right now are Overwatch, Fallout 4, and Civilization 6. Favorite Fallout game? New Vegas 4, but with NV dialogue selection setup? I mean, New Vegas was good, but 4 is definitely my favorite. There seems to be more to it. I do wish that the dialogue options and charisma checks or intelligent checks were more prolific. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck? Definitely the duck-sized horses, because I'm pretty sure I could take out at least 20 or 30 before they get me, whereas a horse-sized duck, I probably wouldn't stand a chance. I really enjoyed your stream on Mr. Beat's channel, also a fantastic channel. I would love to see more of these kinds of interactions. How did you feel about that stream, and are you planning to do any work with other YouTube folks in the near future? I enjoyed the stream a lot. Like, we had a fairly decent debate about whether to remove Confederate statues or not. It was an intellectual debate rather than an emotional debate. We all had facts that we were dealing with, but we felt differently about those facts, and that's how you should have a debate. So I really enjoyed the stream. I would be happy to appear on other streams if I'm ever invited. I am in talks with some people about doing some collaborations here in the near future. I'm totally open to that. If you have an idea and want to collaborate with me, there's plenty of ways to reach out. In your intro, you show a variety of actions that you should know better than to do, but why not place a soda can in the freezer? This is what happens when you place a soda can in the freezer. What are your 3 favorite things about yourself? Ugh. I mean, okay, I guess I like my curiosity. I'm not very good at this whole boasting about myself thing. My dedication, I guess. When I set my mind to do something, I usually do it. And then I enjoy my humility. Any advice for someone just entering college? Don't stress yourself out. But I mean, you're not going to do that because I told you. Take classes in stuff that you're not sure you're interested in to see if you're interested in them. Take classes in things you might not necessarily agree with, because this is the time to expose yourself to other ideas and find out if you really don't agree with them. How do you decide video topics? Usually someone will say something either on Twitter or in a comment, and I'm like, no, that's wrong. I have to type out a huge explanation of how that's wrong. And I'm like, you know what, why don't I just make a video about it? And sometimes people just suggest them, or something happens in the real world and I'm like, I have to talk about this. Usually there's some sort of spark of interest that gets me thinking about a topic. What subjects, while educational and rife with misconceptions, would you avoid approaching on this channel, and why? This is a tough question, and I read the question when you first posted it, and I was like, no, of course not. I would cover anything. And it bugged me for days, because I was like, there has to be something that I wouldn't talk about. I mean, come on. I will only talk about stuff if it's, well, first of all, educational, and yeah, if there are misconceptions about it, but also if there's a reason for people to know about it. And if the only reason I would do a video is to be incendiary, then I probably won't do it. Are you still going to make the currency video? Yes. Can you please do a video on sugar-free foods and if they have an interaction with your GI? That is an epic name. Sugar-free foods on your GI is more of a biology type video. I mean, if only I knew someone who had a degree in biomedical sciences. Yeah, I could probably talk about that. I mean, it has some psychological interactions too. What do you want the channel to achieve? What would be the ultimate I did it goal? A silver play button. So 100,000 subscribers. Okay, also, like, you know, I want people to learn stuff and blah, blah, blah. I'm wondering, how can we get you more subscribers? I get a question or comment about this every week, it seems. So let's just go ahead and answer it once and for all. There's a few ways that you can help get me more subscribers and more exposure. First of all, most of my views come from YouTube itself, and YouTube will push my video out to more people the more engagement that it gets. So first of all, watch my videos, which you're hopefully already doing. Second is to hit the like button. I know people say that stuff all the time, and there's a reason, because it actually does help. The more likes a video gets, the more people YouTube will suggest the video to. I'm terrible at doing this. I'm terrible at pressing that button, but I'm trying to get better. Commenting on a video, if you have something to say. Obviously, don't just comment to do it, but if you have something to say, commenting is another form of engagement, and it will push my video out to more people. Adding it to playlists also helps. So whether it's your favorites, or you have a knowing better or educational playlist, and then of course sharing it. So now let's talk about the external ways. First of all, most of my external views come from Reddit, and this is important because this is a big change, so pay attention. I used to post my videos, and I really hated doing it because I don't like self-promoting, but self-promoting is better than no promoting, so I did. But now that I have 1,000 subscribers, and some of you seem to be fairly dedicated, I'm leaving it in your capable hands. If you think my videos are worth it, then by all means, please share it to Reddit. And if you see that it's already shared, give it a thumbs up maybe. I typically post my videos, or did post my videos, to curious videos and mealtime videos, and then the subject specific ones if it happens to fall into one of those, like geography or political video, stuff like that. So if you feel that the video is worth sharing, please do, because I won't be anymore. I will of course continue to share my videos to the Knowing Better subreddit, but all of the other subreddits I leave to you. My second biggest external source is Facebook. I have a Facebook page that I share my videos to, but just like YouTube, it doesn't share it to everybody if there isn't engagement on it. Follow my Facebook page, like, comment, share. Sharing it to your own Facebook page is of course a help, especially if you have lots of friends. Next is Twitter, and again, just like Facebook and YouTube, liking, retweeting, and all of that helps get it out to more people. So this vid was a commercial. Hail capitalism. Yeah, I'm sorry I decided to do a 1,000 subscriber milestone video and you viewed that to be a commercial because I talked about Patreon probably, but one of the Patreon rewards is that you get a mention during my milestone videos, as well as getting your name at the end of all of my videos and stuff like that. So sorry, not sorry. So there you have it, my 1,000 subscriber Q&A special. Hopefully now you know a little better about knowing better.